Bronwyn from Central Adelaide has a question for you, Sharon. What's happened to the carer support groups and how they're run now?
So through South Australia, we still have some state government funding that's delivering carer support groups. So for carers who have accessed those groups in the past, it's important that they go back to those organisations to check to see what they're still able to access through them. Through the Carer Gateway, carer support, and in particular the peer support, looks quite different from what it did in the past. So under the peer support, it's actually about connecting carers together to learn from each other's experience. We've also, what we do is go through some structured workshops with carers. So there's four workshops, and carers do receive a workbook that they go through that explores their connection with community, their connection with each other. And at the end of those sessions, those groups have the opportunity to actually decide what's meaningful and how they want that group to look going forward. So what's anticipated for some of those groups, they may actually decide that they want to continue meeting but more socially, and they don't need involvement from Carers SA. But for other groups, they might actually continue to want to meet, and they want lots of other information to actually be brought forward for those groups. So what we want to do is actually allow at the end of those 4 structured sessions, those groups to determine themselves what's meaningful for them so that we can be flexible in the way that we respond.
So in Bronwyn's case, when she's attending a group in another area in Central Adelaide, will she have to re-register?
So if Bronwyn's attending a group that's actually not under the Carer Gateway or was a group that existed previously, yes, she will need to register through the Gateway. So to access all of the services through the Carer Gateway, you need to go through the carer support planning process and the assessment and conversation that Danny talked about before. Some of the existing groups, carers might actually, as they go through that the process and have their plan, they may choose to connect with other groups from the group that they were existing, because there may be groups that are available at different times that they'd actually prefer to. So we can't guarantee that an existing group is going to look exactly the same, because carers may choose for it to look differently as they go through that assessment.
So a lot of this is about forming new relationships with a new organisation to get services. So just a question for Danny. So I know previously you tried to connect with Carers SA and had a bad experience,
Yeah.
and your view of the organisation wasn't great. What's changed for you?
Well, it just feels like there is something definite, there's something clear, and there's the support to help you work through the things that you've set for yourself. Whereas before it was like you just signed up and then sort of whatever happened. But now it's actually really empowering to say, this is what I need, this is how I'm going to get it, and you have someone helping you make those steps. So it's definitely, yeah, I feel more empowered as a carer.
That's great to hear.
It is, and I think one of the things that we acknowledged early on is that this system is new. So it's fantastic to hear Danny's experience, in particular with connecting with some of our staff, which is really great. And sure, Kane and Teresa will be really pleased to hear that they're doing a good job in doing that. But we do acknowledge that it's new. So we're going through a new system, and carers are going through a new system as well. So whilst we love to talk about the smooth bits, they're not always going to be smooth, and we acknowledge that. And one of the things that we want to tell, keep making sure carers understand, is that we're working with you and listening to you about what your experiences are. We're looking at Facebook, we're looking at the comments that come through there, but we're also listening, our staff are listening to carers when they speak to them over on the phone or in person. And that's some of the stuff that we need to take on board to improve what we do and how we provide the service to carers, but also it's super important for us to then take that back to government to say this new system is great in this area, but it might need to be tweaked in this area. So it's one of the things that we're continually looking for. And I'm also, I'm asking carers and our staff on an ongoing basis is to give us feedback and to listen to that, because it's not always going to be smooth, but to fix anything, we need to know about it, and so we'd love people to talk.
Yeah, and that's the one major difference that I could feel in the difference between old model and new model, is you do really feel like you feel heard and you feel listened to. I've been really lucky to meet Linda, who helped me link in with these services, and if she hadn't listened to me so carefully and really understood what I was saying, then I probably would still be trying to work it out on my own. So I feel that it gives me confidence knowing that I'm linked in with an organisation that's actually listening to me as a carer.
Good.
Yeah.